Hello, everyone. Welcome back to thy channel. I am going to do today a 3 months post-op review of the facial feminizing slash surgical facial balancing procedures that I had. And this time I'm actually going to show my before photos right before going into surgery and do a review of what I'm looking like right now. So, yeah, this is going to be like the full in-depth review, like how everything is looking so far. And I think now at 3 months, we're able to really see a lot of the swelling has gone down, and I feel like I'm really able to like see, oh, I don't look as crazy as I thought I was going to be. Like the last video I posted, I think was like a month or 6 weeks. And yeah, I was still looking really rough. I was looking really puffy and distorted a little bit, at least to me. So I feel so much better now at 3 months. Truly, my doctor, Arthur Faradian, is incredible. He's based in Thousand Oaks, California. And I feel like he gave me everything that I asked for in a really, really natural way. And I'm super stoked and happy that I went to him. And yeah, and that we were just on the same page with everything. So I'm going to pull up photos and I'll plug it into my screen here. Let me move over my camera so we can do a little side by side, actually. Dang it, how am I going to do this? I think this thing follows me. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so Exhibit A. This is my very, very sad before photo, guys. So please ignore my eyebrows. I have a janky eyebrow, okay? It's this one here. It is so janky. There's nothing I can do about it. I've been growing my eyebrows out trying to like fix this issue, but yeah, it hasn't been working. So this is my before photo, frontal on. Granted, I'm going to say that this is a worse photo of me than like what I look like in person. Yeah, not a great angle. But so part of the concerns that I was looking to address was my under eye hollowness. It was just starting to get to the point where I was looking really, really tired all the time. And that was not cute. And as well as the temples here. So you could see that I kind of had like a wide lower face, and then things would taper up into my temple area. And I always felt insecure, like I could never wear my hair, back, because I didn't like how I just kind of had like a masculine face shape. So one of the things that we did to address that was the fat transfer under my eyes, and then we did the fat transfer along the temples here. So this is what I was looking like before. This is what I'm looking like after. I still wouldn't say that like I'd be comfortable wearing my hair completely back, because it's just like my natural skull anatomy, you know what I mean? But also, sorry, I haven't shaved my pits. Big deal. Get over it. Anyway, but I feel like there's a lot more harmony in my upper face to my lower face. And also part of that was because we did the buccal fat removal here to just help kind of slender out like this part of my face where I tend to get like, I don't know, like in this pocket right here, it would tend to get a little heavy or like jowly here. So overall, I think, if we're looking at a frontal now to that, I think that those areas have been addressed. Obviously, natural, results being, I do still have, it's not going to be like, I mean, if I had all this filled to like the brim where, it would look unnatural. So I think right now I have a very natural amount of fat transfer that looks good for my age. I'm 34. So I feel like we did the appropriate amount of fat transfer, and I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. Something else we did was the brow lift. So I just felt, Chase Bank. I just felt like I had such like a heaviness like on my brow, and just like a tiredness and like heaviness like it would just pool. In this photo, I know for a fact I am slightly raising my brow, because it's just a constant habit that I was doing, was always just like kind of lifting a little bit, because I would try to compensate for looking so tired. So in this photo, I know I'm lifting a little bit, but with the brow lift that I got, it's very subtle. The brow lift was pulled like over this way, so it also helped raise the cheek a little bit as well. So my cheeks are just a little bit like positioned slightly higher, and that came with the brow lift. And then now I don't have to overcompensate. Like I don't have to do like lifting or do like a subtle lift anymore. I can just fully relax my face and my facial muscles, and that's it. Like my brow sits at a nice natural position without having to do too much. So I feel like I'm really, really happy with the brow lift. I think it just helped like loosen things up there and not look so like angry and harsh. So I'm really, really happy with that. It also helped kind of pull things out this way a little bit, so that the pointed top of my face isn't so, like narrow. So we added a little bit more width by pulling the brows out just a little bit, but it looks super natural. I don't look like crazy. Like, how some people get like the fox lift and all that stuff where it kind of looks unnatural. I feel like mine looks very natural, and I'm really, really happy with that result. Something else that we did that I don't think you're going to be able to tell too much right now, because the nose is still healing, is I had a rhinoplasty. You'll be able to see maybe slightly in other photos. I had a very small bump here, but I felt like it added to that harshness in the center here that I felt insecure about. So we shaved the little bump that I had, and then we did a slight, a slight lift of the nose, because when I would smile, my nose would slope downwards. And my nose is still healing now at 3 months. Like I still can feel that it is tender and a little bit numb. So there's still some swelling going on. The nose result we probably won't be able to see till like a year post, but I was getting super worried about the nose, because like you can see in this photo here, my nostrils sit pretty, centered and natural. And throughout the healing process, I felt like one nostril was higher than the other. The noses I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like everything has evened out. I'm really happy with my current nose and how it's healing, and every day it just gets better and better. So honestly, I was like, sometimes some days where I was recovering, I was like, should I have even done the nose? Like I didn't have a bad nose. Like you can see, like my nose was fine. Like there was no issue with my nose. But for me, I just wanted a little bit more of a refined tip, and I wanted that little bump gone. And I felt like because the nose is at the center of the face, I felt like doing small refinements to my nose would help the overall dramatic result that I was looking for. So I was like, let's do it. And Dr. Faradian does incredible noses. He is like, it's one of his specialties. So I was like, if there's anyone that I want to do a small refinement on my nose, it's going to be him. So I trusted the process, and I feel like having the nose job has actually helped a lot with my overall facial balance. And I'm really happy with it. Something else that we did is fat transfer to the lips. So you can see that my lips are pretty uneven. I have a bigger top lip and a smaller lower lip. And then you can see like, it's a little bit like this part of my lip in the photo, you can see that it's like I don't have as much fat in there. It's kind of like smaller. So we just did a fat transfer to the lips. And now fat doesn't really take in the lips too much. So, you have to be realistic with your expectations. The most you can expect is that you're just going to get a little bit of a hydrated plump once everything dissolves. And I feel like that's exactly what I got. And I do think that some of the asymmetry in my lips looks a little bit better now, but I'm always going to have, I think, a bigger top lip than the bottom lip. This is where we're looking right now. So, you know, I have on to Pillow Talk chapstick right now, but I feel like it looks a lot better, a lot more balanced. Again, these are all like subtle things that we did. And so the results are just so subtle across the board, but I feel like they have made a really big difference in the final result. Okay, what else we did was the buccal fat removal, and I feel like now, like, it took a while for the buccal fat removal to like really start showing, but now I'm starting to see the definition in my face more. So I didn't have that much definition in my face. It just felt so heavy. So to kind of slim out the bottom half of my face to help balance with the slimmer upper half of my face, we did a small buccal fat removal, and I'm starting to see now like where that chisel is coming in. And not everybody is a good candidate for buccal fat removal, but myself in particular, we decided and agreed that I was, and that this was going to help my overall facial harmony. So I love it. I think it's fantastic. I can see it starting to like peek in. I can still feel like I have like a little bump in there, you know, from where the incision was. So I'm sure there's still like some residual swelling even 3 months post, but it's looking so much better. And I feel like my face is way more harmonized than it was when I went in. Okay, let's get to some other angles so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so that is my very, very sad before. I'm trying to think if I had anything else done. I did the brow lift, fat transfer, rhino. That's it. Okay. Here's another angle. So you can really see the hollowness under my eyes here and the narrowness of the skull, like how things would just like taper up. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't into it. Now, let me see if I can do the same. Like when I do this position or this pose, same as the photo, you can still see there's some hollow there, but not as much. Like it's definitely filled in quite a bit. And then there again, you can see the asymmetry of my lips. So I'm stoked. Here is a side profile. You guys are going to be like, what bump? What bump? I know. I'm telling you, the bump was very small. Like, you would not say that I had a nose hump if you saw me in person. I had a very cute nose. It's a bigger picture, okay? So, again, I kind of have a masculine forehead, which, like, if I wanted to go hard, I could have done like some bone reduction in the forehead or whatever. I'm not like a huge fan of my profile, but I think that we decided on these solutions instead to avoid going in and doing a bone fucking reduction and everything, and me just being happy with some facial balancing instead of like perfection of facial feminizing with a bone reduction of the forehead. So we did the slight bump shave down. And while I'm not like smiling or anything like that, my nose looks very straight. Okay, so now I have a slight slope. I said, please do not give me a Barbie nose. I was like, I do not want a Barbie nose. Please, for the love of God, do not give me a Whoville Grinch nose. Because I saw on some of his patients, like they had those Grinch noses. And he was like, I promise you, that is what they wanted. I gave that to them because they wanted a Grinch nose. They wanted a Whoville nose. They wanted the Barbie nose with the extreme slope. And I was like, I don't. I want to look natural. I want my nose cute. That's it. Like, I don't want any of this craziness. So I trusted him, and I feel like we're in a good place. And I feel like it adds to like just like the feminization of my face. I think it looks so good, guys. I'm sorry to be so pro surgery, but like for me, it's just helped me so much with my confidence, and like has like I feel like I look like who I wanted to look like, how I've always wanted to look like. So I'm stoked, honestly. And I don't want to like preach or push plastic surgery on anyone, but like yeah, it's great for me. Anyways, you could also see here like this kind of pool of fat here. So with the buccal fat removal and the brow lift, I think that helped lift up the cheek a little bit. So it's a little bit more lifted. I think I still kind of have this, you know, which is fine. It's not going to be perfect, but it's helped a little bit with the tiredness and the overall like heaviness of my face. Okay, so that's that angle. Moving on to the other angle. This was not a horrible angle for my face. Like harsh side profiles, I hate looking at myself like that. This kind of like 3/4 angle is not so bad. I liked how my nose kind of sit here. Again, you can kind of just see the dark circles under my eyes. Because you're at this angle, you don't really notice the like, the part of my forehead that like goes in. So it's more of like is it like this angle that we're looking at? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the before angle that way. Oh, baby, that's my other angle. Yeah, just looking tired, not looking cute. Here's a little video. You can kind of see the nose in this one, how it's like slopes down, and you can see the harshness in my forehead. Hold on, let me pull it back. You can really see that harsh like hump on my forehead. One other thing that I was considering doing, but we didn't do because he actually said it's just probably not worth it for me, was liposuction here under the jawline. He said that for me in particular, like even though you can see it at these profile angles, that I don't really like appear to have like a double chin and stuff like that it's just like at those angles. So it's like not worth it to go under a full surgery for that, and to like give it more time. And then if it like increases like with age and I feel really insecure about it, then you could go back and do something about it. But like that he didn't think that at the stage that it is now that it'd be worth it to disrupt the neck at all. And that if you do lipo, then you might have loose skin. So, you know, then you would need to go in and do like a neck lift and things like that. So I was like, all right, you know, like it does bother me. It bothers me, but I can live with it. Whatever. All right, now let's start talking about my arms. So I did do arm liposuction. Here were my big ones. Okay, my little bat wings. And here are my arms now. So you can see, a lot of fat has been removed. Okay, let me put that photo up, and then I'm going to take it down so you could see my arms. So, well, let's do both photos. So that was one photo. Here's another photo of my arm. You can't really tell from like looking at these photos in isolation, but let me show you my arms now. And there are some issues with the arms, so I'm going to be transparent and tell you about that. So do you see that? There's this little thing here. And then if I go like this, you can see where the rest of the fat was. And like, this is a little bit more muscle, but like there's more fat still on the muscle. So look, the arms aren't great, but when I go like this, they look fine. So it's an improvement overall for me. Same on this arm, not as much, but there's still that kind of like, I don't know, like it's slim and then it kind of gets a little fat here. This as well, like you can see that. So, I talked to my doctor about it and he said, because we did arm liposuction and then we did, skin tightening as well, with another machine, the results we're not going to be able to really see for like a full year because there still might be some skin tightening happening. If I'm being realistic, I think that my arms are probably going to stay like this. I feel like from the front like this, or like if I wear a long sleeve or if I wear a tank top, it's not that bad. It's not often that I'm doing this position with my arms anyway. I think from the sides like that, you know, you can see it's a little like irregular, but honestly, you'll only know if you have big fat arms, okay? You'll only understand if you have like a big arm syndrome that like runs in the family. Like it was truly awful. Like I wasn't even going to do my arms and then I was like, wait, if I'm going under, do my arms. Take it out, baby. Like they were the bane of my existence. Everything made me look huge. I couldn't wear tank tops. I couldn't wear short sleeves. I couldn't wear anything. It would make me look 3 times bigger than what I was. And so it was just, the arm stuff is, I think it's really sensitive for a girl. And, you know, sorry to be so vapid and vain, but I hated my arms. I truly did. And they run in my family and I got rid of them. So I feel like even with the irregularities that I have, I would rather have this than have the arms that I had before. I'm telling you, it was that bad. So insecure. Like if somebody even looked at me when I had a tank top on, I'd be like, don't look at me. Don't take a photo of me. Like it was bad. And maybe that's on me, but it's true. So I feel so much better. Let me turn off this recording. I feel so much better now, even with the kind of irregularities. And so I talked to my doctor about it and he was like, yeah, well, we can do a touch up on that. Like it's an easy fix, but we have to wait a year to really see like how things heal up and how the skin tightening works over some time. And then if it's still there and you really don't like it, then we can do a touch up where I'm awake and they just kind of like fine tune the arms, which I may consider doing just for the hell of it, you know, if it's not that expensive. I think there's in their like policy or whatever, they will discount if you need any like touch-ups or revisions or anything like that. So it'll be a heavily discounted, or I don't know, maybe I'm making that up, but I think it might be worth it to have that touch up if it's not too painful, if the recovery isn't so bad, and if it's relatively affordable and I don't have to go to sleep for it. So yeah, overall, I feel so much better with how I look. I feel so much more confident. And even though the recovery, and you guys see my videos, I showed you since day like 1 or 2, I think I had to start on day 2 because it was just too awful day 1. The recovery was brutal, okay? Like not fun at all by any means. I was there recovering and being like, I'm never doing this again. I can't believe this. Like, this is truly the worst experience of my life. Like, I was being really dramatic. As you are, when you come out of surgery looking like that and feeling like that, it sucks. But I hate to say it, I would do it again. I would do it again because it's just worth it. Like, nothing beats, I know that it sounds horrible me saying this, but like nothing beats just like going under and getting all of the things that you want done and then coming out the other side and being like, great, that was worth it. Like, and I've healed now and I'm happy that I did it. And no amount of filler, no amount of Botox would have given me the result that I was looking for. And now I just feel like I look like the version of myself I've always wanted to look like. And I can move on with my day, if that makes any sense. Probably to sane people who don't feel the need to get plastic surgery, it doesn't. For me, it feels great. So that's my 3-month review, and that's where I'm at. So thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. And yeah, here we are. 3 months. I also don't have any like Botox in my face anymore because I stopped the Botox before the surgery, and then I haven't gotten it since during the recovery, but I do have a scheduled follow-up, and I'm just going to end up going to my surgeon for Botox since he knows my face and he did everything. I'm going to do a touch-up of Botox with him in like a month. So yeah, this is where we're at, guys. And thank you for following along on my journey. And I love you. Goodbye.